Welcome back to Trailer Trash Flips. My name is Mac, and I buy things to sell on eBay, or at least try to sell on eBay and make a profit. It is Wednesday. I was trying to figure out why I'm starting this video off on a Wednesday. I usually try to start off on Monday, but I guess I put Monday's clip into the last video. And usually the way I edit videos is I take enough clips and put them together to make about 15 or 20 minutes. So I guess that's why I'm starting off on a Wednesday. But what has not been starting off has been any kind of good sales. Over the last couple days, I've only got 3 orders that are going out. So, if you heard that, I did just get another sale, so I'll pull that in just a minute and show you what that is. But the first thing going out are 10 remotes. And these remotes are replacement voice remotes, and they are for smart TVs. So the buyer bought 10 of these for a total of $55.90, and these have free shipping. These came from the bin store about at least a year and a half ago, and I bought maybe 15 or 16 of them. They were only 50 cents each, so I bought a whole bunch of them. And I was wondering if any of these were ever going to sell, so I'm definitely glad that somebody bought 10 of them. Next are some metatarsal felt foot pads, 100% wool. These sold for $6.39 plus shipping, and they came from the bin store for 50 cents. Next are 2 books. They're the Gun Digest books, Sporting Clays and Trap and Skeet Shooting. These sold for $8.45 plus shipping, and these were free from an estate sale. This one estate sale, usually around the second half of the last day, they will let all their books be free. The item that just sold is a Saturday Night Live 25 Years of Music DVD set, and it sold for $15 plus shipping, and it came from an estate sale in a bundle deal that I paid $10 for the entire bundle. I did take an offer on that. It was originally listed for, I think, almost $19. Last night I decided to turn offers on just because my sales have been so bad. I do have one other offer that's pending right now that I'm kind of mulling over, and it's on this Nikon, what is that called? Light touch camera. With the sale price right now, it's listed at $146.25, and someone sent me an offer for $100. I've only got $750 into the camera. I did test it and it works just fine. I mean, when you think about $7.50 into $100, you know, it's kind of hard to pass that up. But at the same time, the last one that sold on Buy It Now sold for $180 plus shipping. So I'm kind of conflicted on what to do with that. So at the very least, I'm going to counter with a little bit higher number and see if they'll go for that. Today is Friday, and looking at myself in the camera, it looks like I might need to go ahead and shave this weekend. I don't have anything against beards other than the fact that when mine grows out, it gets kind of itchy. But if I let it get much longer, I'll be able to join the ever-growing list of resellers who have the word beard in their name. Maybe I can be the bearded trailer trash guy. But nonetheless, I've only got 4 orders going out, and that's 4 orders over the last 2 days. So 2 orders per day is not looking real good. There are a ton of garage sales, not only today, but also this weekend. I've talked before about the FOMO that I have a lot of times, the fear of missing out. I think I found a FOMO killer, and that is crappy sales. Because when my sales are bad like they are now, and I definitely consider 2 sales per day bad, that really kills my motivation for sourcing. Now, even with that said, I'm sure that I will go out this weekend and do some sourcing, but my motivation level is really at an all-time low right now. I'm not going to let low motivation get in the way of listing. I'm still going to do that, but it does demotivate me to some degree on sourcing new inventory. So enough about my crappy sales. Hopefully some of you watching are having better sales than I am. So let me show you the items that are going out today. The first thing going out is an empty perfume bottle. It's an empty Viva La Juicy Pink Couture perfume bottle, and it's sold for $8.51 plus shipping. And I got it from a church sale, and I think it was only 50 cents. Now, I had never smelled this stuff prior to buying this empty bottle, but I got to tell you, I really like it. I don't really know what someone would do with an empty perfume bottle, but when I comped it at the church sale, I did see there were some solds. Next is a giant Pez candy roll dispenser with a clown. This sold for $17.20. It's brand new, and I just wrapped it up in the shrink wrap to kind of protect it. I got that from an estate sale. I was in one of the bedrooms at that estate sale, and there was a lady who had just walked in right in front of me, and she picked it up and she was walking around with it. So again, FOMO kind of played in that I was missing out on this. So even though I didn't have it, I looked it up, and actually the comps were kind of bad on it. So when it came time to check out, that lady was in front of me in the line, and I didn't see her with it. So I asked her about it, and she said it really wasn't worth that much, so she decided not to get it. Well, I got out of line and made a beeline for the room and went and grabbed it, because even though it really wasn't worth all that much, at this estate sale company, on the last day for the last hour and a half, they pretty much just take any offer that you give them. I wanted to bundle it in, and I ended up spending like $10 for everything that I had, with the giant Pez dispenser included. Next is a framed Lionel Barrymore gold foil etching, and this sold for $12.05. I got this one and a similar one from an estate sale where everything was free. It was towards the end of the day, and they were just moving items outside, just trying to get rid of everything. And I ended up getting a fair amount of stuff from that estate sale. If you remember back a few months, I sold some Time Life, like oddities and mystery books. I had 2 sets of those, and those went for really good money. All those were free, and they were from that same estate sale. And the last thing going out is a Cricket Light wildlife cartridge, and this sold for best offer of $7. I can't remember how much I had it listed for, maybe $8.99 or something like that, but they sent the offer and I took it. This came from a lot of like 17 of these that I bought for $1 a piece at a garage sale recently, and that's the first one to sell, so hopefully the rest of them will move. Today is Monday. It's actually Monday night, and to say that I had a brutal weekend on eBay is putting it mildly. I think I've only got 3 sales since Friday. I mean, it is bad. And unfortunately, Kim's eBay is not much better. I don't want to come across in my videos as a negative Nancy, because I pretty much just tell you guys what's going on with me. And if my sales are up, I'll let you know. And if my sales are down, I'll let you know. Unfortunately, it just seems like my sales are down a lot more than they are up. And I'm certainly not a person who thrives on negativity. I did some sourcing Saturday and Sunday at garage sales and estate sales. And when I compare the amount of items coming in versus the amount of items going out, it is not a pretty picture. And like I said earlier, it is late. It's like, man, it is 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., not 9 a.m. There were some things going on with my parents that I needed to help with. And I thought that it was going to be later in the day. But as it turns out, it was much earlier than I anticipated. And I ended up staying at their house till about 6 p.m. Actually, a little after 6. So I'd never ended up getting my orders from the weekend out. I was planning on getting them packed, since it's only 3 orders, it's not very many, and going to the post office, dropping them off, and then heading to their house. But I was informed that I needed to be there earlier than I had originally thought. So I never got to do that. So I'll get those packed up and off to the post office tomorrow. And it's not like I'm up against any type of time frame, because I've got 2 or 3 day handling on all my items. But I do want to get them out as quick as possible, at least as a thank you to the few people who have bought things from me. I do have some potentially huge news that is going to help me out tremendously. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet, because something could always happen and this thing could not come to fruition. But as of right now, it does look like it's going to happen. So when it does finally happen, which could be in the next week or 2, I will definitely let you know. And it's going to be a huge help for me. I talked about a buyer had sent me an offer for a camera I had listed. At the time he sent the offer, the camera was listed for about $146. Well, I kind of lollygagged on responding to that offer. So I went to respond to it, and I realized that I had waited too long and the offer had went away. So I completely missed out on that opportunity to sell that camera. And I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt for letting that offer go so long without me addressing it. but I was just busy and I completely lost track of time. I had another buyer send me a message towards the end of last week, and he wrote me a message that said, "Looks like the wrong item was shipped. Can I take it to the post office and mark the package refused, return to sender tomorrow? That way there should be no charge for the return postage. The correct item is still welcome in exchange for the wrong one." And what it was a 3 DVD set of like great artists of the Italian Renaissance or something like that. I shipped the DVDs in a print cartridge box. Some of you may recognize one of those big boxes that the big giant printers use. And I like those boxes because they're very sturdy. And that was a box that I got from the old account that I got fired from. I packed the DVDs in there with packing paper and taped it up. Well, when he got them, I guess he just assumed that I had sent him a print cartridge, which the box had been clearly retaped up, but I guess he didn't look that far. So I told him the DVDs were in the box. It was just a recycled box. So he went, looked, and sent me a message that he found them. And I just thought it was funny that he didn't actually open the box to see if those were in there. But he did find them, and hopefully he'll leave me some good feedback. So for my 3 items going out today, the first is a Micro Machines. It sold for $7.50 plus shipping, and it came from an estate sale for $1. And this was originally listed, well, originally it was listed for $10.99. Over the course of the last few days, I've been reducing the prices on almost all of my inventory just to see if some really low prices would spur some extra sales. And I can report that it really hasn't made any difference. So I think this was originally listed for $10.99, and I reduced the price $3 on it. So I think it was like $7.90 something or somewhere around there. And this buyer sent me an offer of $7.50, which, you know, if I'm going to take $7.90 something, I'm definitely going to take $7.50. Next, I have a pair of Keen boots. These sold for $43.99 plus shipping, and they came from a garage sale for $2. My third and final sale from an entire weekend are 2 Boz Scaggs cassette tapes. And these sold for $6.09. Again, it was an offer. I don't even know how much these were originally listed for, but these came inside of a case that I bought, and I really only wanted the case. All the tapes in it, they could have kept them, but they didn't want them. So any amount that I make on the tapes that were in that case is all profit, because I've been sold the case a long time ago. So here is an overview of everything I got this weekend from both garage sales and estate sales. At one of the last estate sales we went to, I only found this one VHS tape, new and sealed. I do already have some of these listed, so I might just add this one to it. At a garage sale we went to, I only bought 2 items. They were each only 50 cents. This is a windshield repair kit, and I have a bullseye on my windshield. It's been there for probably 6 or 8 months and it hadn't spread, but I thought I would get this and just try to fix it. They also had the Breakin' original motion picture soundtrack cassette, and I didn't even comp this, but it was only 50 cents, and after looking at it, it's probably worth $8 or $10. At another garage sale, they didn't have much. I found this Raising Cane's dog. I don't know which one it is. It was only $1, so I grabbed it. From a garage sale, I picked up these few items. One is a magazine for a handgun. Now this is a 20 round magazine, and you're not supposed to sell magazines that have a capacity over 10 rounds on eBay. People do it, but you're not supposed to. Now I believe that this magazine fits an H&K VP9, and I need to make sure of that, but if I'm correct, these sell for about $50 to $55 each. They had it marked for 15. She did let me have it for 10, so I really couldn't pass that up. And then there were 2 more magazines, which are for a Taurus G2C or G3C. And these were also originally marked 10. She let me have them both for 7. I do have a gun that these fit. However, I think I'm just going to sell the magazines because I already have plenty. The only other thing I picked up from there was this Midwest Center Attacking Anxiety and Depression. I guess it's a kit. It has a book and some DVDs in it. It was only $5, and I comped it, and comps were around, if I remember correctly, in the $30 range up to around $40. Now that's all I got from that one garage sale, but Kim really racked up there. She probably got $500 worth of stuff for like 40 bucks. I don't remember the name of it, but it was some kind of like skin lotions or skin creams or something like that. From another garage sale, I found this Disney on Ice cup, and it lights up. I didn't comp this at the garage sale, but she only wanted $1, and after looking at it later, I can probably get maybe $7, $8, $9 for it. She also had this hat, which is a Nike dry fit, brand new with the tags, and she only wanted $1 for it. So I picked that up, and again for only $1, she had this Your Baby Can Read kit, and I did comp this. And it looks like it goes anywhere from 30 something to maybe 40 something dollars. I opened it up, and from what I could tell, everything was here. We went to another garage sale, which was really more like a clean out estate sale. There was a little bit inside, but most everything was outside. They had this Bop It. It was only $1, and these are not really all that valuable. I think comps on these are like $7 or $8, but it was only $1, so I grabbed that. They also had this Clarisonic Pro brush. I don't know what it is, but I comped it and saw pre-owned comps in about the $25 range, and they only wanted $1 for all of that. They had some Remington Express hot rollers, and I don't remember how much I paid. It was either $1 or $2 for those. And the last thing I got from there was this little turntable, and I've seen these before and wanted to get one, but they only wanted $1 for it, so I couldn't pass that up. At another garage sale, I found these things. These are some Conair Hot Sticks Traveler. I think these are rollers. They were only $2, so I grabbed those. They had this Gamo air rifle scope, and they only wanted $1, and comps on it were about either $30 or $35. I did open it, and I'm pretty sure it's brand new. They had a set of Clairol 20s, which I've sold multiple times. These were also only $2. And one of these Magnavox digital or analog to digital converters or whatever. I don't know if it's new or not. It is wrapped up in the plastic, but I really didn't open it up enough to tell if it was brand new. But new, I've gotten between 20 and 25 for these, and even used, usually I can get 15. And for that, they also only wanted $1. At a different garage sale, the only thing I got was this Great American Steakhouse onion blossom cutter, and I think it's complete as far as instructions and everything. They did have a make offer sticker on here, so I told the lady she should probably just throw out a price at me because she did not want me to make an offer, and she insisted I make an offer, and I told her $2, and she did seem a little bit insulted, and she countered back with $5, and we settled. It was something like $4.50 or something, so I think I just gave her $5 for it. But looking at the comps on these right now, they're kind of low, but I've sold these in the past for, you know, $25 to $30. And if you look back on the recent solds, you'll see that sometimes they do go for more money. And the sad thing is, I've got at least one, maybe two of these in my death pile already. I've got one right here that's not listed. These items came from another estate sale Saturday that we were not even going to go to. We ended up just passing right by it, so we figured we would go ahead and see what they had. Originally, they were only going to do 25% off, but there was so much in the house, they decided to do 50% off pretty early, which I'm glad they did because I found some decent stuff there. First, I got this Hurricane Spin Scrubber. It ended up only being $5, and I really just got that for myself. I don't know if I'll use it, but if worse comes to worse, I may just port it out. I found this Bunker Hill wireless security system, and honestly, I think that's a Harbor Freight brand. Yeah, it is. It's Harbor Freight. But I did see a sold for $25, and since it was 50% off, I've only got $2 into it. I found this little case, which I don't really know exactly what it is. I did search it using the eBay lens, and I found something that looked extremely similar. It did not say the same stuff on the back, I almost thought that this looked kind of like a double Zippo lighter holder case, which I know it's not, but I just wasn't sure what it was. And the listing that I saw of the thing that looked similar said that it was I really don't remember, like a spent cartridge case or something like that. But either way, I only ended up spending $1 on it, so I'll need to do a little more research. And the other one that I saw that was sold, it was in kind of rough shape like this one. The cookbooks were all originally $3, and so they should have been $1.50, but they ultimately only ended up charging me $1 per cookbook. Except for this little bundle here of these small books, they did this whole bundle for $1. And it's Mexican cooking, French cooking, the super chicken cookbook, microwave cooking, and Chinese cooking. I don't know how good these will do because these are not usually the type of cookbooks that I sell, but at only $1, and originally I was thinking $1.50, I figured I would check and see. I didn't try too hard to comp these, but the little bit that I did, I didn't find anything. Now, I bought these two cookbooks for myself, The Art of Wok Cooking and the Chinese cookbook. I do cook a fair amount of Asian food, so for $1 a piece, I had to get those, and I definitely don't want to sell them. Well, I say I don't want to sell them. If I found out they were worth a lot of money, I probably would. Now, this is an interesting find right here. I only found one sold for these. I didn't go look on product research, only just in the last 60 or 90 days or whatever it is. And I found one of these sold for $25 plus shipping. So I don't know if that was a fluke and it was just one person who happened to want this or not, but I ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I ended up getting 6 of them. And I don't know what the deal is with this, and I don't have any idea why someone would have 6 of the same cookbook. But I figured, again, for $1, I had to grab those. I also found the French style cookery from Louisiana Kitchen's cookbook. This one is mostly full of like desserts and sweets and things like that, so it's not anything I'm interested in. Didn't bother comping it, just again figured for $1 I would pick it up. They had 2 of these stoneware microwave cookers, which I remember these from many years ago. My son had actually bought me one of these one time, just like for my birthday or something. Well, I didn't figure these had much value to them, but after looking at the soles, they were going for more than what I thought. Originally, they were only $3 a piece, so after 50% off, I've only got $3 total into both of them. And I saw some soles up there, nothing spectacular, like $15 to $20. But either way, if I could get $40 out of a $3 investment, I think that's pretty good. And the last 2 items from that estate sale were these pea pod mats. One is a 3x3 and this one is a 3x5. They were both marked 15, so of course I've only got $7.50 into each of them. But these are like mats that you lay out on the bed if there's a bedwetting problem. And on Amazon, these go for about $60 a piece. I only saw one recent sold on eBay, and it was, I don't know, 30-something dollars. So I figure for $15 total investment into both of these, I would grab those. Oh, one more thing I almost forgot from that estate sale were these floodlight bulbs, which I just got those for myself because they were only $2.50 for each box. And from the last estate sale, I got this stack of items. Now, this estate sale company does a lot of off-site estate sales, and I was a little bit apprehensive about going because sometimes, you know, stuff that doesn't sell is still sitting around. But I'm glad we went because it was all new inventory. And the way they were set up, there was like an industrial building with different companies in that building, and there were 2 separate warehouses where they had items. So from the first one, and everything was 50% off at both of the locations. They had this CSI puzzle. It was originally $4, so it was only $2. And there was a sold on this for, I don't know, maybe around $15 or $16. I don't remember. And I almost didn't get it because I have a hard time selling jigsaw puzzles, but I decided at only $2 I would get it. They had these Louisiana lottery playing cards. I opened them up and made sure they were all there. Probably not worth all that much, but they only ended up being $1, and I decided to grab those. They also had this Make 7 game, which, looking at comps, I could not find this one specifically. I may have found some newer ones, but this one looks older. It's still sealed, and I'm gonna need to do a little more research on it. So after the 50% off, I only ended up spending $2. They also had this little turtle multi-tool thing. It has a bottle opener and several different sizes of screwdrivers. I found a comp on one like this. Now, it had a certain company's name engraved on it. It wasn't like a generic one like this one, but they ended up getting like $15 for it. And this was marked $1, so at 50 cents, I couldn't pass that up. And I don't know anything about this pink Zote soap. I did see some solds on eBay. This stuff was not priced, and when I asked him about it, he said after the 50% off, it would only be 50 cents per bar, and I ended up picking up 5 of those. And the last thing from the estate sale at that particular location was this Riva, I guess it's a Bluetooth speaker. Now, it was marked 12, so I've only got $6 into it, and it is brand new in the box. I opened it up all the way to the wrapping on the speaker itself, and it is brand new. And I see these go online, like on Amazon, for about $150. I did see a few solds on eBay. I don't remember if I saw this specific model, but I'm pretty sure at only a $6 investment, I'll be able to make some decent money on it. Well, I say decent money, but at the rate I'm selling things lately, maybe not. The rest of these items came from the same estate sale company in the other location. And I think I paid $3 a piece for these little napkin holders. I don't think they're worth all that much. They just have like a fleur-de-lis on them or something. I also found this, and I did do comps on it, and I found one sold on eBay for $25. It says Nazareth Holy Land and Jerusalem on it. She told me it was a pencil holder, and that may be what it is. I can't remember if that's what the listing said or not, but anyway, it was only $1. Each of these card sets was only $1. That's Delta Airlines. These look vintage. I'm not sure if they are or not. And these are some Hoyle collection cards. I don't know if they're any good or not, but again, they were only $1. They had this Panda Knits baby pillow. I tried to look and see if there were any comps on this, and I didn't find anything from this company. It's like a baby's first pillow, and it definitely looks vintage. It was actually made somewhat local to me in Monroe, Louisiana. I'm not sure if this company's even in business anymore, but I thought that was pretty cool. I got this adjustable scene guide, saw a comp on eBay of about $15, and again, that was only $1. And the last thing were 2 of these wine enthusiasts wine corkboard kits. There were 4 of these. Kim comped these, and she saw comps upward of $80. I saw some around $55, so I figure somewhere in that neighborhood. But the lady at the estate sale only wanted $5 a piece for those, so we bought those and split them. I guess that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. As always, I appreciate you watching, and if I sell anything, I'll see you in the next video.